Mr. Diddy.
Peace, yo, this is Brother Hot Tim coming to you live and direct. I would like to welcome you to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother Hot Tim, and of course, right now you are listening to Folk Tales for Grown Folks, and this is a Heart of a Simba production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Alright. I want to welcome those that are listening now and those that are listening in the future. We live in a remarkable time where we are able to do things like this, right? So I can record my voice and somebody 5 years from now will be hearing it. Somebody 10 years from now could possibly be hearing it if we do not blow ourselves up, right? So I want to welcome everybody to Folk Tales for Grown Folks, but y'all know that before I get into the show, I have to send shouts out to my sponsors. I am a Gye-Nyame man. Born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent center. I pledge to find and connect with my center. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life and go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warrior and to assist all those seeking the path of success. I I pledge all these things first to myself, to teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. That is the Gye-Nyame pledge that is said by all of our true members at least once a day. Peace and welcome to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos and podcasts. Subscribe as well as join the journey. Push past your self-imposed limitations within the Gye-Nyame journey. Peace. Alright, fam, so, of course, this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio, and what I want to do right now is let y'all know about some of the books, because like I said, we got to be into this fundraising, we got to be getting this funds. So a book that I ain't really brought back out in a while is called Poetry is My Religion. That's one of the books, a poetry book. Alright, we got, for tribal quotes, we got Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes. I had this one out for years. This was the inspiration for the show tomorrow, which is called Tribal Quotes. Alright? Now, this is my flagship book. It's called The Player's Pyramid. This is the updated version. Player's Pyramid. Can y'all see it? I know y'all can't see it on Spreaker, but y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me hitting it over the mic. You know what I'm saying? So, use your imagination. You can see it, right? This is The Player's Pyramid. This is one of the major books for nation building as far as Gye-Nyame. Then this is my masterpiece. This is my masterpiece right here. This is called 7 Sticks. This one is not publicly available yet. The cover is messed up because I got kids. But hey, that's life, right? We real around here, Gye-Nyame Journey. I don't know what my kids did, but they did something. All right, and this is a storybook because I always talk about us needing to recreate myths, us needing to change the myths and the narratives. We're going to talk a little bit about that because the folktale going to take us into that. But this is 7 Sticks. It's a story about the 7 principles. Each principle is personified and basically has to tell a story to their father. I won't go all into that. This is the Warrior Handbook for Life's Journey. This is one of the books that we train the nation builders and the warriors with. And my latest book, this is Freedom Within Limits. This one is not available yet, but this is my best work so far. This is a compilation of I ain't gonna say all because I got about 1,000 posts, but I've been blogging for a long time, and this is a combination of the blogs and all the stuff from all the work that I've been doing. So, hey, now, the next thing, that's from my sponsor, Gye-Nyame Journey, Now, even though I am, that's my fam, that's me, I have to go on and open this, right? This is that Death Eater. A lot of y'all sleeping on this, right? Now, this is the most powerful drink that I have, right? Some of y'all want the sweet, some of y'all want the sour. Everybody is trying to avoid the Death Eater. And I know some people wonder, why do you make this, right? Because when you drink this, right? You will feel the effects. This is a powerful health tonic right here. This is that ambrosia. This is that Death Eater ambrosia. I call it Death Eater for a reason. So we're going to open it. Let me put it up to the mic so that maybe if it does fizz, y'all can hear it just a little bit. I want Facebook to see a little bit. Let me put it right there and all that. Can y'all see it? Let's see. Oh, this one is relaxed. Oh, this is gonna be a good drink. All right. So my mom is sick. So I rolled out and I gave her a little bit of this Death Eater, right? I ain't gonna say she feeling better, but she feeling just a little bit better. I'm not playing when I be mixing it up. When we be mixing it up over at Gye-Nyame Journey. Y'all can hear that? Nice and crisp. Nothing but green tea, raw honey, dandelion root, burdock root. That's it. All the things we need to stay healthy is right out here in nature. We just got to know how to find them, y'all. So I'm going to cheers, y'all, and then we're going to get into our show. Man. Damn. Man. Oh. Y'all got to excuse me. Every bottle has a different personality. For those that don't know, the shape of the bottle also influences the taste. So I got big bottles that some of y'all seen. The shape of the bottle influences the taste. So now let's get into the show. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to run down the news line and we're going to get into our story today, which is called The Fox and the Grapes. All of y'all done heard this story. This is what I'm going to do. I promise you, right? I promise you, right? I call this folk tales for grown folks. I'm going to take this story where it has never been taken before. My fault. We're going to take this story where it never has been taken before. I got somebody on the line, and it's the traveler brother D, but he got his mic off. So D, when you ready, just come on in. But we're going to take this story where it has never been taken before because a lot of y'all sleeping on my ancestors' wisdom. Tonight is Kuji Chagalia, right? Self-determination. Listen, defining ourselves for ourselves and not allowing others to define it for us. Listen to me, and I want y'all to understand this. Y'all sleeping on our ancestors' wisdom. We got proverbs, we got quotes, we got stories, and most of us just think that they're for kids, and we just think that they're just cliche statements that we can make, when in fact these are the very wisdom that will free us from the very oppression that we are feeling. What we're going through is not new. Our ancestors have been battling this for a very long time. So the wisdom is there. All we have to do is open up our minds. I'm going to take this story that all of y'all heard as a child, and I'm going to open it up for you. I'm going to pop the cork. I'm going to pop the cork, and I'm telling you, this will change your life. Facebook is fucking with me right now. And that's okay, Facebook. That's okay. I'm not mad because Spreaker is hanging in there with me. And I appreciate you, Spreaker. You know what I'm saying? So, hey. Now, another thing. I started doing my daily vlog on YouTube. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hatim, HA2TIM, right? Go to YouTube and subscribe. All right. Also, you can subscribe to me on Spreaker. Ooh, those of you on Facebook, if you want to hear the show, go to Gye-Nyame.com. Gye-Nyame.com. All right. If it keep dropping, hopefully we'll get a stronger signal. I don't know what's going on with that. All right. In the news. All right, U.S. Army to grant final permit for controversial Dakota pipeline. The Great Pumpkin got in and signed an executive order giving the Corps of Engineers the permission to go in and take our Native American brothers and sisters' land and run a pipeline through and possibly ruin their water. Right? I mean, really, we got to really see what's going on here, right? The lines are being drawn. And we're the only ones without a pencil to draw the damn lines, right? Everybody is drawing their borders, right? And they're letting us know that this is their land. This land is their land. This land is their land. From the coast of California to the New York harbor. They want you to know that, right? Y'all got to understand, man. Y'all got to understand. We have to start getting together. We have to start doing commerce together. We got to start politicking, right? And not just sitting around some chicken watching football. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be sitting up sipping on some Hennessy and watching basketball because that is what they expect. We are the number one consumers. We need to take our power back, right? Just like these Native Americans, they are sitting up here fighting this pipeline. What are we fighting? See, understand this, because I understand the psychology. Listen, I'm not mad at the Great Pumpkin because I understand the strategy. America figured out a long time ago that as long as you got an enemy, you can make money. Y'all ain't figured that out yet? As long as you got haters, and we gonna get into that in the folktale, stick around. As long as you got haters, you have the potential to make money. Why? Because outside enemies make the inside stronger. What that does is that make us have to work together, right? We have to spend money. This is why we went from World War II to fight Nazis and the Japanese and the Italians to all of a sudden having a Cold War. And then they found out that, we needed to have a Korean War. Then we had to have the Vietnam War. Then we had to have all these crises. Then we had to have a Cold War, right? Right now we got to have a war against terrorism. As long as you got an enemy, you can produce income, and you could use that fear to get people to draw the battle lines, especially those that don't read and those that don't study, those that have been taught and who are programmed to believe what their leadership say. Those who do not exercise Kujichagulia and are being guided. Listen to me now. Listen to me. And being guided by what other people say, being defined by others. It's time for us to step up, fam. We can't allow ourselves to be continually defined. They defined us as an urban population. They defined us as a needy population. They define us. When will we start defining ourselves? When will we start taking our power back? Right? And I got a story for that, man. This is one of those personal kid stories, right? When I was young, I was a different type of kid. I know all kids say that, right? All people say that, right? I had put up a fake solar system in my bedroom. I was sleeping up under stars that I made. I had a map of Ohio on my wall with battle strategies that I was trying to figure out on how to take over the state. So one day I went to church. We had choir rehearsal at that time. My grandparents and my mother was forcing us to go to, we had to go to church twice a week. Right? So, I don't know how y'all church was, but in my church, there was 3 chairs sitting behind the pulpit. But they wasn't chairs. They was like thrones to me. They looked like thrones. They wasn't like everybody else's chair. Everybody had the hard bench. Except for the choir, they had the little cushions. Right? But we had the hardwood bench. And I used to always look at that pastor's chair. And I said, I want to sit up in that chair. And every time I got an opportunity, I go up there and sit in the pastor's chair. So I was sitting up there with one of the elders in the church. And I was sitting, I got comfortable in the chair. And I looked at him, I said, is it wrong to want to rule the world? I said, is it a sin to want to rule the world? And the response they gave me was yes. It's a sin. And that's a sinful thought you're having. And now, I am 48, and I hear about a little white boy about the same age as me by the name of Bezos. Right? Pretty, a little bit older than me, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Started Amazon.com. Talking about running the world. The founders of Google talking about running the world. I come up with a mind state that I need to not be humble, because they didn't say humble, they say humble, right? My whole life, right? And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that, but we get a lot of crazy messages in our community, man. A lot of unhealthy, crazy messages. And we have to start changing the message, redefining the messages that's coming in to our community, because our children are living the images, they're living the ideas, they're living the fantasies and the characters that are being portrayed for them, and the characters that's being portrayed for them are not healthy or not helping us build as a people. Hell, it's not helping anybody. My fault. It's helping the prison. It's helping those people that work in prisons. You know what I'm saying? It's helping the politicians. It's helping everybody but us. Right? All right. So, hey, Brother D, you still on the line, man? What you doing? Oh, he still got his mic muted. All right. His son must be giving him hell. But, hey, I am glad that y'all have come out. I want to send shots out to, of course, first one on the line, Miss Angela Pearson, Brother Tariq, Charm, is Damon, John Johnson, Asa Abdul Rashid, David Houston Sr., and my Uncle Carl. What's up? Sending shots out. You know what I'm saying? Because I see y'all. Thank you for stopping in. I'm going to say some offensive stuff, so you got time to go and get your earplugs ready, because you know how I am, right? And this is not alcohol, by the way. This is that ambrosia, right? That ambrosia. What's that ambrosia? That's that, they call it kombucha. I make it myself. All right. And this is that Death Eater. Those that know, got that dandelion root and that burdock root. All right. Now. All right, peace, Esau. All right, now, here we go. Are y'all ready for the folktale? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing. I'm gonna take this folktale. Oh, what's up, Afra? Thank you for stopping in, man. Shots out. All right, now, I'm going to take this folktale, man, and I'm going to turn it up for y'all. Because y'all think this stuff is for kids, but y'all got to remember, these folktales wasn't written for kids. These folktales was written, oh my God, my brother Ernie. I got a lot of brothers, but that's my real brother. Hey, Issa, if you in Columbus, man, because you are sending me, since you are, you writing on the timeline, dude, inbox me, and I will get you your bottle if you in Columbus. Now, if you out of Columbus, but if you in Columbus, man, you got a free bottle coming on Brother Hotel. All right, now, so, the folktale, now, like I was saying, these were not written for kids. They was written to educate adults. Y'all got to understand the state of Aesop. Aesop was in a similar condition as we are today. An African being held against his will in Greece. So he had to be intelligent in how he taught his lessons. He couldn't come right out and talk about people, so he talked about animals. He was wise, right? So let's check this out. This one all of y'all done heard. The fox and the grapes. A famished fox saw some clusters of ripe black grapes hanging from a trellised vine. She resorted to all her tricks to get at them, but wearied herself in vain, for she could not reach them. At last, she turned away, hiding her disappointment and saying, "The grapes are sour and not ripe as I thought." Let me give a strike from God, and then Brother D, it's your time to get on, man, because I'm about to tear this up. Anybody else that want to join the conversation, hit us up at 614-556-4535. Watch. I'm about to open this up because all of y'all heard this one. All of y'all done walked past this and did not get the message. Our ancestors left us cold. They left us crystallized wisdom. And all we got to do is be open-minded enough to crack it open and be willing to do the work and pull it out. Now, this right here, my friend, is the first tale that we know of that thing called the hater. Right? The hater. Right? Often disdain what they cannot obtain. Right? So rather than saying, oh, you know, it's a little bit too hard for me, they're the individuals that will tell you stuff like, oh, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't as good as you thought it was. You know, they'll lie about dates that they've been on. They'll lie about jobs that they done had. Why? Because they don't want you to achieve what they couldn't achieve. Right? They don't stop you. You know what I'm saying? People often disdain those things that they cannot get. Right? People like back in the day, you know what I'm saying, those you old enough to remember, you know, they would tell us, you know, you don't want to be rich because rich people go into hell. It is easier for a camel to squeeze through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. This is the type of stuff that we was fed. After reading this story, I'm thinking that some of the people that was writing some of these statements was haters. They couldn't obtain it, so the grapes was sour. They wasn't as ripe as they thought. You know what I'm saying? I can't make it, so I'm going to stop you from making it. Now, also in this, if we go and we turn it around, right, and we look a little bit deeper in it first off, I thought foxes was carnivorous animals. I mean, he could have used a rabbit. What's up? Oh, you on, Dad?
I just said omnivores.
Are they omnivores?
Yeah.
Oh, man, so they do eat grapes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So much for that theory. Thank you for shooting that theory down, Brother D, the traveler. Travel your ass on, man. Just messed up my whole theory.
We ain't blow up your paradigm.
Hold on. That's what we do here. We not only talk, but we learn. I'm waiting for some of y'all wisdom. 614-556-4535. Now I'm going to read the story again. A famished fox saw some clusters of ripe black grapes hanging from a trellis vine. She resorted to all her tricks to get at them, but wearied herself in vain, for she could not reach them. At last, she turned away, hiding her disappointment and saying, "The grapes are sour and not ripe as I thought." Now, also, that is the mantra of those that give up early. Right? That's the mantra of those that give up early. This is why we talk about hustle builds muscle, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we saw a perfect example of the opposite of this, those of you that watched the game on Sunday night. I'm not going to say that I knew what was going to happen, but I do have a reliable witness that will say that when I left the house and it was like 25 or whatever to 0, right? I said, they're going to come back. I don't even watch football, right? But the point that I'm saying is, a lot of people quit early. A lot of people stop their grind. A lot of people stop their hustle. And then in stopping their hustle, they start to hate what they can't have. Hate what they can't control. Hate what they can't buy. And totally turn against it. Right? Some of us fall into this. Some of us have been in this situation before. Right? Brother D, you want to hit it?
Oh, yeah, man. Perfect. Somebody said the end of the rainbow, but not sure how far they have to journey. You're not wanting to put the work in. I'm thinking of some of my players today in practice. Started to shut down and try to quit on me because we run it so much. But that's not complaining about having to run, but looking at it as an opportunity to push themselves to the limit and go beyond their self-imposed limitation.
Listen, man. See,
the weakness of actually being the best.
See, that's what separates many of us, right? Because it's like some of us give up so easy, man. You know what I'm saying? And some of us give up late. Let's talk about those that give up easy. I remember I did a sermon one time about somebody hearing the voice of God, right? And it didn't come to them in the way they expected. But in order for this person to really get to a point where they were really able to commune with this creative spirit, this creative power of the universe, they had to almost push themselves to death. And we avoid that pain. We avoid that suffering, not realizing that is the very doorway. That is the very doorway to the conversation that we may need the most. I mean, when I sit down on my bleacher, man, I was being tore up. I mean, for those that don't know, bleacher, you can read about it in my Freedom Within Limits, but bleacher is a vision quest. And I went out for a vision quest, and we set my blanket down over an ant's nest. I didn't know. I thought it was mosquitoes, right? And these little buggers tore me up as soon as the sun went down. I was like, I thought I had never been bitten so much by mosquitoes, but it wasn't mosquitoes, it was ants defending their home. But in that suffering, I found something. And a lot of our young people, and a lot of us now, because we're so comfortable, right? We don't see the power and the value in struggle, right? In figuring things out. Oh, I quit. I mean, I hear that so much every day. Oh, it's too hard. I can't do this. We got to work with our children, man. We got to work. I mean, even with some adults. This ain't fair. I hear that all the time. And it's like, they're like that fox. Because he turned away to hide her disappointment. She turned away to hide her disappointment. And settled with the fact that the grapes were sour anyway. They wasn't right. Sour grapes. That's where that statement comes from. Sour grapes. You know what I'm saying? And the lesson in there.
Not even getting to experience it to see if it was sweet or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I couldn't attain it at this moment, let's say it must be sour.
Must be bad.
It's my.
If I can't get it now,
make a judgment about that thing. Yeah.
And that's a good point.
And how sweet it is. How I'm gonna know how sweet it is. I never touched it or tasted it.
There you go. There you go. And hence the issue, the birth of the hater, right? See, the how can I put it? We have a real hate problem in our community. We hate, and not in the hating way, the traditional way where I hate you, right? It's more along the lines of, I disdain your success. I disdain. How dare you be in a relationship and have any type of joy? How dare you be riding around in that new car? How dare you have this nice house? Right? We got a real hate issue that we have to really overcome. This whole sour grapes thing. And then it passes on to our kids, because when we see our kids striving and moving possibly past us, we start sabotaging. You know what I'm saying? You can see it with some of the elders when it's time to pass the baton. They start sabotaging. You know what I'm saying? You can see it in the churches. You can see it in the institutions, in our community. You can see people trying to hold on to something and disdaining the fact that you have the audacity to want to try these grapes. I done climbed a tree. Everybody else done gave up trying to get them, and you have the audacity to keep on trying? Fam, we got to keep on trying, and we got to encourage. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
In a sense, if you think about it, it's like having a criticism about an individual or something that's been accomplished or something that's attainable without having a relationship, not getting into depth and knowing the thing or the person that you're criticizing and saying, "Oh, they're not really all that," and you never really had a chance to sit down and have a conversation with them or to deal with them, to ask them questions or see their perspective of what even allowed them to be in the place that they are. Because even these particular grapes being on a higher ground, imagine there's other grapes that were lower, that so it had to go through that process of actually going higher and going through not being as close to for the nourishment to actually get up to it, to get to the point where it looked plump and distant, or somebody looking successful from a distance. And until we have that conversation with them and can't really make a judgment outside looking in.
Right. But a lot of us do it every day. We do it every day. You know what I'm saying? We have our perceptions, right? Our perceptions. And part of this is the definition or the power of defining that has been placed on us by others. Because we automatically look at ourselves in a certain way. And we have been taught to look at each other in a certain way. It's sort of like, you remember my dog Power. Power, like most humans, he bit all my children, scratched them or something. He all of the Gye-Nyame, most of the Gye-Nyame kids that was around with Power have went through the Power initiation. Power loved humans, right? He tolerated children, but he hated his own, right? This was bred and this was put into Power from the environment that he was in. You know what I'm saying? Because from a young point in time, all my sons, including myself, treated Power in a way to where Power thought he was one of us. So any other being that looked like him that came into his territory was a threat to his comfort. So he automatically had a bad perception of them. And many of us are the same way. We have been bred and raised and trained in this West Asian mentality. And when we look at others that look like us, you know, because we're unique, you're not like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? We automatically start honing in on those perceptions that have been put in our minds. This is why last week when we had the conversation on Tribal Quotes. Those that don't know Tribal Quotes, go down tomorrow night at 9 p.m. just like this. The first when the brother asked, what's some of the first steps we gotta do to really start building? And I'm always on, when I hit my 40s, change the mind state. If we don't change our mind, it don't matter what we do. And this goes in all aspects of success, from black folk success, from your individual success. Until you change your mind, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because your perception of the world, your perception of the world is what is opening up opportunities or slamming the doors of opportunities. Have you ever met somebody that was just always depressed? And I know nowadays they say it's a sickness, right? You know what I'm saying? They got a diagnosis for it. They done found a gene for it. And you know what I'm saying? They done define it as a sickness. So now people can walk around. See, because this the question I have. I'm going to be an asshole, right? Where was this depression on the fucking plantation? If you ever had a reason to be depressed, I think your people being in chain and in slavery for a couple of 100 years would have been very depressing. Where was that shit? Where was it, Brother D? Because I want to know. Because people get upset because I ask questions like this, right? What was the depression? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm quite sure, because it's easy to find out about the suicide rate on plantations. Because they kept records.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And suicide was not a major killer on the plantation. Right? So, my question is, if we were in a situation with depression, depression in slavery shouldn't even be a question. But now we got more people suffering from depression than we did back in slavery. So
could it be? Listen, what you said. Our people have finally succumbed to it.
What?
Because for so long, they were always battling. They were in rebellion. They weren't succumbing to it. There was the